is there an assumption or a fundamental adherence to initially the fact that, or the idea that the Bible does condemn homosexuals?
This is what I would say about this. That I believe that the appropriate way to read Scripture is as though we are sitting at the feet of our elders in the faith. And we know, many of us go to, ask folks, what is the ethic of abiding by your elders' wisdom, right? Well, we come with respect and reverence, and we also are able to articulate in today's world that that each generation has new wisdom and new work to do. So we're able to say, well, I love Uncle John, but he's stuck in the 50s. Right? I'm not going to live my life like Uncle John lived his life. Yeah. I want to go to the family reunion. I want to be kind and respectful. I want to learn what I can from Uncle John, but not going to abide by his prejudice, or I'm going to set aside what I know to be his lifelong addiction issue, or whatever. All right, so I'm not trying to avoid the question. My point is that I do believe on the surface level that there was in some parts of Israelite culture that's represented in the Old Testament and New Testament that are Christian scriptures today, that there was an animosity toward at least some of the same-sex activity that was there around, in their world. I think, so the fact that that's there should not diminish our spirit and make us small and shamed and assume that animus, that animosity is God's timeless pronouncement about what it means for people of the same gender to enjoy companionship and sexual intimacy and commitment.
So do you think that a lot of the biblical criticism comes from the fact that people are still applying century-old prejudices to new circumstances?
Absolutely. And I blame the church for that. Because the church has not yet fully evolved into a community of spiritual formation where people are expected to study the scripture and be informed about political and social circumstances of the ancient world. People, I think that if people were empowered, if people were more hungry for life-changing information instead of information that makes me feel good because it tells me what I already believe, right? If people were more hungry, then some pastors would be maybe more bold about their teaching. But conversely, I think that part of the reason that people don't teach this critical approach to Scripture as freely as they might feel prodded to by the Spirit is because the people because the people who are hungry for a greater security and for greater clarity about their lives, have been habituated into finding that security and clarity in dogmatic answers rather than in and this is a very biblical word, a very biblical motif, a faith journey.